Texans beat the Redskins 23-21. I think this was another last-second field goal game, but poor Alex Smith got Joe Theismann.
Oh, did he? Oh, I heard. I didn't see.
He broke his leg, and it looked.
Tibia and his fibia.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's brutal.
He broke his tibia, his fibia, his libia, his bibia, his every bone in the leg got smashed. It was one of those ugly, like, please don't watch videos.
Oh wow! Now I have to go find it. Now I gotta see it. I'm morbidly interested in.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I recap the huge Steelers win over the Jaguars with Brian Harker of Pittsburgh Sports Zone.com, and I recap Week 11 in the NFL with Mark Hagelauer. As always, please subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this. Go get somebody. Tell a neighbor, a friend. Go get people. Tell them to subscribe also. Go next door. Go right now. I'll wait. Come back and then and listen to the rest of this. The Donut Bag starts right now. Steelers with a huge win over the Jacksonville Jaguars in a last-minute victory. With me to talk about it is Brian Harker. Is at Brian_Harker SW on Twitter and owner of Pittsburgh Sports Zone.com. Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, how's it going? It's Joe. It's an honor to be in the Donut Bag today, especially after a great win.
Oh my goodness. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that it happened. Steelers win 20-16 on a last minute touchdown by Big Ben. But wow. It's like you said, it's a tale of two Bens, the worst of Ben and then the best of Ben, man. So Steelers start the game. Just the offense in the first half was horrible. Just horrific numbers. I think they had one first down or something like that.
Yeah, I think 3 out of their first 4 drives were 3 and outs. One of them ended in an interception, I believe, on the first pass. And I think in the first half, all they had were 2 drives of more than 3 plays. And one, I think the last drive of the half was a 7-play drive that lasted a grand total of like 41 seconds. But it was that one drive that said, okay, maybe they're getting somewhere. But, yeah, it was atrocious. It was painful to watch.
It was, yeah, that kind of gave them a little bit of momentum. That last drive where at least they showed they could move the ball a little bit, and that helped. But wow, what I was initially thinking was that Jacksonville just has it has the Steelers number, and it's just no matter when they're going to play them, no matter what the situation is, they're just going to own them. They're just in. I don't know if they were in Ben's head or what, but Ben's, some of his throws were off, like that one interception that was going to AB. If it was a good throw, AB gets a touchdown, but it wasn't, and it ended up being an interception. So, what were you thinking during that first half?
Well, I was sitting there thinking, honestly, I mean, I've never walked away from any Steeler game. I mean, I've always watched them to the end, but at that point in time, I'm thinking, there's a lot of better things I could be doing right now, like sleeping, brushing my teeth, anything but sitting here watching this. But at the same time, even after his second interception, and if you remember last year, he threw his third pick and the camera just panned on him and he had that look of defeat in his eyes, like I got no idea what I'm doing. This time, I mean, there was disappointment, frustration, but there was also that look in his eye that, I'm going to figure this out. And this is far from over. But you just had to wonder, okay, when is it going to happen? When are you going to hit that pass? That kind of gets things rolling in the right direction. And who knew it would be midway through the third quarter?
Yeah. And got to give a lot of credit to the defense. They kept them in this game. The first half, all they gave up was field goals, and that kept them in it. So that was huge. But in that first half, Jacksonville was just running it down their throats. What did you think of how the defense handled things in the first half?
Well, at first you're wondering, and especially it was a play. I think Fournette took it for like 20 yards up the middle on a run blitz. Because, the run blitzing, trying to come up with a way to stop the run. And every now and then you crash it and you make a big stop in the backfield. But when it doesn't work, you're creating these natural rushing lanes, which are just, you could drive a truck through. And I'm thinking, wow, we're going to see a 300-yard rushing game. But there was one play when Hargrave, it was still 9-0. It was 6-0, and Hargrave crashed through and came up with a huge sack that kept it to a third field goal rather than extending the drive and potentially putting one in the end zone. And it was at that point, you know what? If the defense can just hang on, gets, somehow, and this offense finds traction, we got some hope. And sure enough, that's how it worked out.
Yeah, Hargrave was awesome, especially with 2 out. For Hargrave to step up like that was amazing. Jacksonville's offense was just all Fournette, and Bortles did basically nothing. And it was just, you just thought, it's like if the Steelers could just put something together, then they could have something, but it had to get to 16-0. Fournette scores on a 2-yard run in the third quarter, 16-0. And at that point I thought, oh, okay, it's just not their day. There's no way they're coming back from this. Then Antonio Brown has a 78-yard pass on a weird looking play where Antonio stops, and then everything. Yep. It looks like everybody stops because they thought the play was over or something like that. AB keeps going, and Ben finds him, and then it basically is an easy touchdown. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but would you call that the turning point of the game?
Oh, most certainly. It was. You could tell Brown's getting frustrated, and he's wanting to make something happen. Now, if you want to go back to earlier in the season when people are calling him selfish and he's throwing a tantrum for lack of touches, the only time he ever came unglued was when they were losing. And it seemed like at this point, the way he baited Tayshaun Gibson, he drew him up, like you said, he stopped or hesitated. And when he bit on it, because I think maybe he wanted Tayshaun to think that's where the pass was coming. And then he blew by him because he knew Ben was going to find him. And I just thought that was a brilliant piece of route running that allowed the Steelers to get on the board, and it was huge. It showed what Brown was made of. It showed he's more than just a guy that can run. It was really, I thought, an intelligent deception there, and that really changed the whole momentum of the game right there.
And you have to give credit to Ben and Antonio Brown. They've been together for years, one of the best quarterback wide receiver combos to ever play the game, and for them to know each other, because that's not how the play was drawn up. That's that's an improvise, and they made it work. So huge play, but still, and then they missed a 2-point conversion, so it's 16-6. Then in the second half, the Jacksonville running game, which worked so well in the first half, just stopped. It just died. And then Bortles was just awful all game, and the Steelers were able to put pressure, get some sacks, but major credit to the defense for stopping the run in that second half.
Oh, that was amazing. And I wonder how much of it had to do with it seemed like they were they brought in Dangerfield to assist with that. And I don't know if they just stopped run blitzing so much, but whatever it was, like you said, they held him to 23 yards rushing Fournette in the second half on like 14 carries. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like they hit a switch and they said, that's it, no more.
Yeah. Amazing. So Steelers down 16-6 in the fourth quarter. Ben hits Vance McDonald with an 11-yard touchdown pass. Great catch by Vance. The extra point's good. Now it's 16-13. But there is about there's I forget how much time was left. I think that was
I think it was like 2:25.
Yeah. So then it was up to the defense to have a quick stop of the Jaguars, and that's exactly what happened. And God, I just saw on NBC they were criticizing how conservative the play calling was. Basically, I think it was just 3 runs, and they were criticizing Bortles on that third. It was like 3rd and 5, and they criticized Bortles for like such a lackadaisical fake attempt. He didn't even like make it look like he was trying to fake the pass. It was just such an obvious that it was going to be a handoff, and they stop him. And then Ben gets the ball with about a little over 2 minutes left, or maybe it was under 2 minutes. But anyway, and he just drives down the field. Huge catches by Juju. Did you when the Steelers got the ball in that with around 2 minutes left? Did you think they were going to be able to at least tie the game? Because I think they started about on their 30-yard line.
I kind of had my doubts. I mean, after that touchdown to Vance, I'm thinking, okay, I love the fight they showed. They didn't give up. The defense played strong. So here's something to build on for Denver next week. And what I think this first play was a 7-yard. He dumped one off to Connor on the right side. And I thought, okay, nickel and dime him if you have to. You got a timeout in your hand. And I think at that point there was like a minute and 37 seconds left, I think, when Connor caught that ball. And I thought, well, he can do it, but I just don't know. And then when he hit that beautiful bomb on the backside back shoulder to Juju, I'm like, they're going to win this game. There was no doubt in my mind at that point. They're going to find some way to win it.
And then there was a huge play to AB also that took up a bunch of yards. But before that, there was a pass to Connor that looked like a short touchdown, and he just dropped it. Like, oh, James got it. It was not his day. He did not have a good day. That was a little scary when he dropped that.
And I felt so bad for him because, in a situation like that, how easy is it for everybody for the sale or to deflate? How do you not feel deflated after that?
Right.
That might have been their last best chance, but no, is that when Ben came back and hit Brown on the following play?
I believe so. Yeah.
So,
and then. And another thing about this game was the Steelers hardly got any penalties, but Jacksonville was penalized all over the place. I think there were 2, maybe 3 interceptions that were taken back because of Jacksonville penalties. It was, and I mean, they didn't seem like like ticky-tacky calls or the the refs, deciding the game. I think they were obvious things. It's just